Hey, welcome back, guys. Today I thought I'd take a look at the new Manjaro Mate minimal install. Now, this was announced, I think maybe 1 or 2 days ago. It's the minimal install, which means that it doesn't come with all of the software that it would normally come with. And also, Yowert is not enabled out of the box. You have to add it, which I did. But this is the link to the website for the download. I will post it in the video. This is the desktop as it is right after the install. I have tweaked it a little bit. I've also tested it out to make sure that things run properly. I don't see any glitches or any bugs at this point in time. I think that a while back, Manjaro came out with a 1610 Mate, and there were some bugs. They had a GTK2 version, a GTK3. There were some bugs. There were some issues. They kind of pulled back on it for a little while, and I think they've done a great job recouping and recovering and just regrouping and getting everything going on the Mate community spin. And now this is the result. And I think that they've done a fine job. As I said, I have not found any issues. I did a full disk install with an EFI installation. Um, Everything went fine. I'll go through the specs with you in a few minutes, but this is the desktop as it is out of the box. This is the link to download, as you can see. The full ISOs are coming soon. This is a minimal ISO, no AUR support, minimal apps. For example, if you go into Office, that's all you get. I actually prefer this because I can build it and add the software that I want rather than have it come in with all kinds of software that I wouldn't normally install. So this way here, the minimal install allows me to build it, and I really enjoy. I really like, I was a big XFCE user in the past, but lately I'm gravitating more towards Mate, and I do prefer the Mate desktop. Now, as I said, everything installed without any hitches. Let me go ahead and pull up the specs. Now, this is the Manjaro Mate 1610.1. It's actually point 0.1, and that's the minimal install. These are the specs of my system. It will allow you not to install a bootloader, but as I said, I did a full disk install to an SSD with an EFI install. I'll pull up Gparted just to show you how Manjaro partitions the disk, and I am using the SDB. So basically it creates, it's got a little unallocated space, which is, that's the way it is. You can't change it. Don't even try. If you do a full EFI install in Arch, that's the way it's going to happen. So you're going to get a little unallocated partition at the front and a little unallocated partition at the back. It actually created a 34.5 gig swap. I have 32 gigs of RAM, so I don't need a swap partition at all, but it automatically configures a swap partition equal to, I'm assuming equal to the amount of RAM that you have. So this is my data partition, the ext4 partition. It's my root and home. It's got 203 gig and 37 gig used. Now I have added, as you can see, I've got BattleNet with Diablo 3, Hearthstone, War Thunder. So I have added some games and things that I wanted to make sure would install properly. So everything is fine, but I've got 37 gigs used, and this is what your disk will look like if you just let Manjaro take care of it. So that's what I did. Now, Wi-Fi It recognizes my dongle but not Broadcom during the install. Install time is about 15 minutes just because of I was doing a full disk EFI. Normally, if I don't do a full disk EFI, or if I elect not to install a bootloader, the install time comes in around 10 to 12 minutes. So it's a pretty quick install. Boot is fast. It's about 10 seconds. It's using the 4.4.33 -1 Manjaro. That's, I believe, considered to be the long-term support kernel. RAM usage on first boot was about typical of a Manjaro install, 540 meg. CPU usage is 0.03 load average. Nvidia, I did the non-free version of the install, so Nvidia was enabled right out of the box, 370.28. There's a later Nvidia driver that came out that Arch has already released, but Manjaro hasn't released that yet. Broadcom Wi-Fi, yes, but I installed it through the command line, as I always do. Printer is no problem. Netflix is no problem pulling that in through with using Google Chrome. The default theme is Vertex Maya, as is the icon theme. The font is Sans 10. I haven't done anything with Infinality fonts yet. I haven't finished setting it up the way I usually do. There were about 29 wallpapers, 12 icon sets. I added, well, I'll show you how I have it themed in a minute. So number of themes 16, desktop environment Mate 1.16.0. Window manager is Marco. Distro family, of course, is Arch. No Office installed. It is a minimal install. I'm going to go ahead and install WPS Office, which is what I prefer. For gaming, Steam, no problems. Battle.net, no problems. And Winetricks. I used Winetricks to install Battle.net. I did not have to install Play on Linux. If I wanted to run some Windows Steam games, I would install Play on Linux and install Steam through Play on Linux. So in that case, I would have two versions of Steam, one with Linux applications and one with Windows applications. But even installing Steam through Play on Linux doesn't guarantee that you're going to be able to use your Windows games. Some of them work, some of them do not. But that's normal with Linux at this point. A lot of the gaming issues still have not been resolved. But with Arch, out of all of the distributions that I have used and tested, Arch is always consistently better with gaming. The reason being that their repos have more drivers and configuration options and software available. So it makes it easier when you go to set up your gaming. War Thunder doesn't have any problem running. Diablo. The only thing I'm gonna try just as a little bit of an exercise is Blizzard has a new game called Overwatch. And this is probably a better subject for another video, a separate video, but Blizzard has a new game called Overwatch, which is pretty neat. They just had a free weekend, and I played it a little bit, and I enjoyed it. But anyway, they do have that Overwatch. Now, I tried to play it in my Battle.net install, but it's telling me that see, it's picking up in Wine that it's configured for Windows XP, and that's the proper configuration to get Diablo 3 and Hearthstone working. You need Windows XP, but Overwatch requires a minimum of Windows Vista, and so I'm going to try it later and see if I can use Linux to play Overwatch. That'll be an interesting exercise. But in order to do that, I'll have to change my Wine install from Windows XP to Windows Vista. So I'm going to try that out later. So as I said, I would touch on a little bit of the theming. I This wallpaper is pretty nice. It's an arch wallpaper that I found online. It's got a nice texture to the icon and the shadow effect. It just looks pretty cool. I basically, out of the box, it comes with the standard Mate, which is panel at the top, panel at the bottom. I eliminated the panel at the bottom. I added the open windows to the top panel, as you can see, and I added a plank dock at the bottom. So it gives me everything that I need. I could probably do away with the plank at the bottom. I really don't need it because I've added several applications to the panel, and I have my games here right on the desktop. So I probably don't need this plank, but I installed it and tried it out just to make sure that it worked. The other thing is I'm running Fienza darker icons along with the blue submarine theme. Now the blue submarine theme is one I've been using with Mate lately. I just happen to like the window configuration. You can see the shading, the two different subtle colors, the black bar at the top. I just like the look of it. It's simple, and once it's easy to configure. Just select blue submarine and pop in your Fienza icons, and you're good to go. So that is it for this video, guys. This is the Manjaro Mate 1610.1 minimal install. It is a development install. The final release should be coming any day now, but I haven't found any issues with this at all, and I'm using this as my daily driver for the foreseeable future. So guys, that is it. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Thank you very much for stopping by the channel, and I will see you soon. Take care.